Hello, everybody. How goes it? Welcome, welcome. It's Monday. How goes it, Strack? How goes it, everyone who's lurking back there and has yet to announce themselves? Welcome to another stream. What? Lito, why is it the second I start talking, you come running over? Wanting attention? Huh? What's with that? Huh? Greedy cat. Rotten cat. But hello, everybody. Yeah, okay, fine, yeah. Get up in my lap. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone's also able to make sure that they are taking care of themselves, hydrating, eating, sleeping, not staring at boobies for too long. Staring at some boobies is good, but don't stare at them too long. Let's see. That's done, that's done. I posted there. Impossible? It is totally possible to stare at boobies for too long. Make you dumb. Too much of anything, even if it's a good thing, can be bad. Oop. Cat. I'm never getting another cat. Oh, no, I'm not going to say that. Sleep, what is sleep? Sleep is that thing that you want really, really bad and you're told to get it, but you're not always going to because your brain doesn't want to turn off. And instead it imagines a whole bunch of fictional scenarios where you might say something or do something that you'll never do. That or it just constantly goes meow. Or that could be the white noise machine. Let's see. That's ready. That's ready. What the heck is this? Dismiss that. We don't need that. Where is my game? Where is my game? Where is... There it is. So, stop this. Pop that. Pop and pop. See how much more we can break this game. Okay, so last time we were struggling a little bit with this particular boss. Let's see. Let's see how this goes this time. Now, Harlequin was saying we just need to attack, and that's it. So no using abilities, no using skills, just attack. There we go. attack. Just attack. God, I get messed up. Alright, and I'm going to use a shield bash because that's good. Dang it. Start out strong. Defense down.
Overwhelmed.
Ah! Come on. Yeah. That hurts. Attack again. Attack again.
Overwhelmed.
Use item. Health kit. Use item. And then attack. Brute force. Whirlwind. Yeah, oh. Okay, so that's still down. Hey, Midwest Game Guy! You can do it! Get those big combos! Well, I'm trying.
Overwhelmed.
Harley has said that we only need to just do offense. No spells, no nothing else. I'm doing some in regards to, like, obviously, like, rend to increase the damage down.
Overwhelmed.
To learn QTE took me a bit to hang. Don't beat yourself too much about it. No, it's more of I'm doing as much damage as possible, but this boss is honestly not balanced. And because I tend to be a more defensive player, the idea of, oh yeah, don't do your defensive abilities, just full out attack and nothing else in order to beat it, is very counterintuitive to me. Make sure to give Harles your full report. I'd love to hear what they would say. Oh, they've pretty much said there's no balancing needed. So, and it's like, well, I don't have problems with it. That's you, though. Losing one turn for this is not gonna be detrimental. Come on. All right. That attack. Damn it. What? Oh no, it's difficult to begin with. What is it? You're tired. I told you. Yeah, it's fine enough. Like I said, go ahead and take your shower, get cooled off, get relaxed. Throw it on you. Throw it on you. It'd help if I could actually hit some of the fucking combos, especially the Core Knight ones. Nope, she's dead. Technique. Friend. Item. Life crystal. Gotta take it. Oh well. Core Knight. We have no items left. Steampunk Egypt Rummage, my favorite game. Hey, mana. Come on, fucking die already, giant hunk of metal. God damn it. Good luck, get rid of class. See you, Strack. Good luck with your class. Gotta gunk up his gears, then he has no move. Yeah, what am I supposed to do? Throw the corpses into the gears? I would if I could. Ah, throw some big bubble gum. Again, I would if I could. Okay, so like for that one, I went pretty much all full offense. And we still ended up dead. Hey, Inazuma. Hold on. Nope, it's the same dragon. It's the same bullshit. And I'm going to be honest, I'm only going to give this a couple of tries tonight. Because if I'm not able to beat this dragon, to beat this boss with the current build and setup that I've been doing, and I've been getting really close each time, then honestly it is a balancing issue. And the fact that Harles doesn't want to change it from, oh, you have to be extremely aggressive, to something a little bit more reasonable, where it's, again, not something with a giant fucking health pool, then, you know, that's on him. Because not all of us can hit QTEs very well, as you can tell. I remember him also saying, it's like, oh, you just got to get all the QTEs for the Core Knight's build attacks all the time. And I was like, well, I can't do that. If you haven't noticed, I kind of suck at this. And there's times where it's very close, and it looks like it's, you know, it would accept, but then it doesn't. Because the timings are off. And he is like, no, it's not. You know, it is. Oh. The main thing also when it comes to a lot of this is just balance your fucking games, people. Oh yeah. Yeah, everyone taking a huge chunk of health from one attack. Why would I waste a turn casting barrier? I don't fucking wonder why.
Come on! Overwhelmed!
Flurry. No. Yeah. Magic barrier all. Hey, for Spectus.
Overwhelmed!
Dang it. Yeah, why would I ever bother trying to mitigate all that damage? Working over worse right now. Lots of UI overhaul, kill quality of life, talent trees, new classes, and of course, overwork boss fight. Well then, color me interested for whenever you actually finish the game. Dang it. Technique. Rally. Attack. Attack.
Come on! Overwhelmed!
Oh, she's dead. Oh no, she survived. With very little health. Took a 1.5-year break. Be like that. Was moving and things. Oh, yeah, no. Totally get it.
Overwhelmed!
God damn it. That's right, she doesn't regain mana anymore because I redid her thing.
Overwhelmed!
Come on, die already, you big mechanical fuck. Now she's dead. I'll use him as that. There goes his turn.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, fuck. Well, everyone's gonna die now. Ah. What is... How many times does that hit? I wonder how many times it hits. I need to count it next time. Because I feel like it's stupid. The amount of times it hits. Looks like 6. It's an AoE 6-hit combo.
Come on! Overwhelmed.
I feel like it's more than 6, but even then, if it is just 6, it's AoE damage. Again, why would I not have Barrier All then? Harlequin's suggestion of, like, you just gotta keep attacking it and hit all the stuff and not mess up. It's really fucking great, man. It's great, you know, but, you know, some of us can't do that. God dang it.
Overwhelmed. Flurry. Overwhelmed.
Oh, I got nothing left.
Overwhelmed.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times. It hits 8. It hits 8 times. I'd like to point out, in that last go, I had redone everything to where I just pretty much had only offense. None of his defense abilities, such as Face Me, which gives a damage reduction. Only the stun and the rally, which gives everyone more damage. Yeah, I can't grind. There's no EXP in this. I can grind for equipment stuff by essentially grinding for the gems to then turn into money, but there's no real point in that. Because also I'd like to point out, Harlequin said that this is completely doable with what I currently have at the current equipment level and everything. I think that's full of shit, but you know, let's give this guy a go. We haven't really used Varn. Generates some ammo, increases damage, increases damage. See how this goes. That's down. Dang it. Oh, that doesn't do a lot of damage. Oh man, I should just rally before Fortnite.
Overwhelmed.
All right, let's do this.
Come on. Overwhelmed.
Let's see. Oh boy. You like that? It's interesting. Don't get me wrong. Do like that. But question is whether or not it's gonna be useful. In the sense of actually getting me past this boss.
Overwhelmed.
All right, let's do this.
And there goes half his health. Oh, the animation? Yeah. Let's see. Rally. Make it fit.
Come on. Overwhelmed.
Blimey. Blimey.
Blimey. What is he, fucking Australian? Oh, I didn't need to use it on her. Oh well.
Flurry.
All right, let's do this.
Well, he's dead.
Blimey.
Yep. The Ogre Lady seems to be doing the most damage. She's supposed to be, like, the most powerful, if not most, one of the most powerful ones. But the problem is, she has defensive spells that make the most sense to use.
Overwhelmed.
But Harlequin says they're useless because why would you make the person who does the most damage lose a turn doing defensive stuff? And I like to point out, I've always said that the dev knows the game way better than any player, because they're the one who made the game. But I would also like to point out, you have to account for a very large window of error. So, when it comes to games that require skill, it's not just a matter of, oh hey, you know, if you do this, this, and this, it works. It becomes a matter of if the player can do this, this, and this in the right order. And also, considering like all of the attacks are timing based, the idea of like, oh, you just have to hit all of your fucking timings perfectly in order to do this shit
Overwhelmed.
is stupid. And all it does is frustrate people, because why are you adding an extra layer of difficulty? Why give her defensive spells if you don't want her to use them? Oh no, because he wants you to use different abilities, or different strategies, rather, for taking on
Overwhelmed.
bosses, which I can agree with. But the problem is, the last couple of bosses that we've encountered, the strategy has been hit them harder and hit them faster, so that way they don't use their abilities. This dragon is a DPS check in the sense of every round that it continues to fight, it does more damage. That is what it does. Which is like, okay, fine. It's just going to do more damage every turn. Because it's going to essentially up its damage. So it's buffing itself endlessly. So, case point right there, I have a hard time with QTEs like that. I have always had a hard time with QTEs like that. So the idea of, oh, it's fine, you should still be able to manage it and, you know, actually beat them, is no. That's not how it works. But her, okay, so look, her first ability that is required to unlock everything else is Barrier. This down here is Barrier to everyone, which is very useful against its AoE breath attack that hits 8 fucking times, especially later on in the fight, where one of those hits could be 24 to 32 points of damage per hit. So why the fuck wouldn't I try and keep a barrier up on everybody? The problem comes from the fact that not only does it do a lot of damage over time, that's fine because it builds up to it. The problem is, it's got 18,000 fucking hit points. And I don't do that much damage because no matter what I do, it's a mixture of, yes, skill, but also at the same time, I'm kind of capped at how much damage I do. Even if I'm pumping out 600 points of damage per turn, it's still going to take me fucking forever to kill it. Because let's see, if it's 18,000 divided by 600, that's 30 turns. That's 30 stacks of Stoke, which means I'm not 80,000, 18,000. 1800. Zero. Forgot a zero there, but it's 18,000. So pretty much, I need to be able to do 1,000 points of damage and kill it in 18 turns before its Stoke stack gets so high that I can't mitigate it anymore. But here's the problem. Here's the kicker. At best, using Rend and Rally, Daz does a lot of physical damage and does only about 450 points of damage if I get all of her hits. Dunstan does about 300 and something. Aliana does, I believe, about the same as Thaz. But again, that comes into the problem of I need to hit every attack. The Core Knight makes them do even more damage, but I still need to hit every attack. Otherwise, I'm wasting a turn. And when it's QTE based, especially QTE based on a visual audio notification, where the window is skewed, let's be honest, and then also on the Core Knight ability, where it's a spinning circle that sometimes, if you get it just outside of the circle, it counts, but other times, if you get it in the same fucking frame, it doesn't count. So, I wouldn't be so irked about the QTE stuff in this game if it wasn't for the fact that, again, the main issue with this boss is it has so much fucking health. It's got more health than the last couple of bosses, which is fine. But at the same time, the tentacle boss was also difficult in the sense that it was just a fucking damage sponge. The same with the ice ogre thing, which is actually a Snoblin or whatever, or a Snoblin King. the fact remains is that there are too many times fights are taking too goddamn long. Where's Harlequin? Is he even awake? I need to be fussing at him. I'm gonna throw a brick at him. I think he's asleep right now. I'm still gonna throw a brick at him. But that's like the main issue when it comes to the game. You also can't grind and no fast animation. I'm not bothered by that animation, to be honest. Especially considering like a lot of the shit is based off of like the frame rate that's locked in order for it to count properly in regards to like the timing and such. That's the best time to throw a brick, really, when the target is sleeping. Exactly. Batter gets it. But the idea of I need to hit everything perfectly every time in order to kill it fast enough, just fast enough, mind you, to where I'm not burnt to a crisp. That's stupid. It sets a skills ceiling, a difficulty curve. I'll give you that. But even games that are extremely difficult, or games that are known for being difficult, have a certain curve to it. It's not a flat fucking wall. So, I like pointing to Dark Souls for its difficulty. Because I'll admit it, Dark Souls is a difficult game for a lot of people. Not me per se, but it's difficult for a lot of reasons. There are multiple ways of playing Dark Souls as well. The main thing that people think that what makes Dark Souls difficult is like, oh, the bosses hit hard and they have big health pool. No, it's pattern recognition. You fuckers suck at it. Everything in Dark Souls can be overcome. There's people that prove you could beat the whole game without leveling up. Because why the fuck not? Dark Souls is difficult, but it's fair. It knows when to crank up the difficulty, it knows when to dial it back down. It also makes sure that it is purely a move or get hit kind of skill thing. And if you can't move to get out of the way, tank it. In this kind of game, you can't move to get the fuck out of the way. You're gonna get hit. But the problem is, if you're going to make it to where I can't dodge, make it to where I can tank it. I can't tank it. There is no means to tank it. Because they gave me, Harlequin gave us, a tank in the name of Dunstan, this stale-ass piece of white bread up here, with 305 hit points, and gave him the abilities to be a tank against a boss that you can't tank. So why the fuck do I have Dunstan? Well, that's simple. Because Varn there isn't strong enough to actually be useful in this fight. Because, oh yeah, he's got a great ability, but he has great multi-target burst damage. Against single target, he doesn't do nearly enough. Against this target in particular, he really doesn't do enough. I actually don't like that you can't see parameters in this window. I want to see my character's attack, defend, and all that. Do you see that on an equip? Nope, you don't. You don't see any of it. It's all hidden behind other stuff, or not other stuff, just in general. So yeah, you're not supposed to be able to see it. If you want to know what your ability stats are, or what your equipment stat is, you have to go back to town. I'll show you. You go back to town, you go all the way up. Where is it? Oh wait, is he down here? Yeah, he's down this way. There's it is. That's it right there. That's the only information you get in regards to equipment and such. So, if I wanted to grind, I don't grind for experience. I grind for these things that I then have to bring back to town to sell here. Let's see, hold on. I've got $12.95. I get $64.75, which should give me just enough to go to +7. What that +7 entails? Fuck if I know. Because it doesn't tell me. This is the downside of essentially going bare bones. There's a reason why RPGs have a lot of, as some people would put it, nonsense on it. Why they have stat screens, why they have all sorts of fucking math screens and so on. Because it gives you all the information you need. And all the information you could want. Now, I'm not saying something as bare bones as this can't work. It absolutely can. But then you run into a problem. The problem being is that because I can't even equip accessories, I can't customize beyond the ability tree, we have essentially lost a lot of flavor to the RPG. You essentially took away all of the seasonings in a dish except for salt. And everyone knows you don't cook with just fucking salt. Where's the basil? Where's the oregano? Where's the rosemary? Where's the thyme? Where's the fucking pepper? But hey, I've now got a +7. Who knows? Maybe this one little itty bitty thing will work, even though Harlequin says it's totally beatable at +6. Who knows? I don't. It's gonna be my last attempt at the boss, I know that much. But let this be a lesson, everyone. Balance your fucking game. Understand that just because you can beat it, or that you don't find it difficult, doesn't mean that everyone will also not find it difficult. Understand that when it comes down to game design, it's not just about the difficulty of the encounter, it's about the mechanics and much, much more. No, I don't want to use Core Knight. I mean, you have very limited customization here. You mean no customization. Aside from pretty much my abilities. And even then, that's very limited. Just talent trees. It needs more. Also, I look funny, you can't run away from combat. Which means if I get into a combat that is unfavorable, that I'm most likely not going to win against, I can't run away from it. So yeah, she does do the most damage. Wait, she did 200 damage because that was 4 hits. Daz did 98 per hit. She did 3 hits. So, hold on. Doing mental math. Wait, no, Thaz does do the most damage. Played the worst RPG Maker game, though? Oh, no, you've played worse. Oh, yeah, I've played worse, too. We've all played some pretty bad RPG Maker games. I want to point that out. Oh, I'm sorry, she did 95 per hit. So, that puts her above Aliana. Okay, you attack there, you attack there, you attack there. I think the issue with this game is that it made with MZ, so it's just much better. Or MZ is just so better. I mean, you're right. MZ is a lot better than MZ. God dang it. But even then, even with a different game engine, it doesn't matter. The main question is the game properly made and properly balanced with its encounters and so on? If you can go into the game and be like, oh yeah, you know, everything's pretty well balanced, all the encounters and so on, don't have too much to worry about, cool. But if you're constantly having to essentially hear the feedback of people saying like, hey, you need to tweak this, and then you don't tweak it, then you have a problem. Serious, but feels like the design decisions are what are sticking the points for PT here. Yes. It's not an engine issue, it's a development issue. It also means there are things like that you can't do because it's limited by the plugin choices. Yeah, I suppose. But in regards to what's currently going on with the game, it's not a plugin issue, and it's a development issue. Things that can be fixed with simple Visual plugins. I mean, rebalancing the encounters, honestly, you can do that just in the base thing. Oh. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. Like, he has to pay someone to implement that or write code himself. Keep hammering AI for hours. Look, there's two things Harlequin likes. Pissing off the AI bros and money. Alright? I don't see Harlequin hammering away at AI other than finding some way to piss off the AI bros. You know, all this advanced technology lying around, this just goes to prove that the pyramids were built by aliens.
Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed.
Alright. I was left to this stupid brass button.
Overwhelmed.
Ugh. I think now I'm just mostly agitated. Dang it.
Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed.
Alrighty. Alright, so make sure I've spent all their ability points. Yep. One last try. Wait a moment. I'm gonna do this, and then I do the rally.
Overwhelmed.
Technique rally. Fortnite.
Come on!
Whew. Finally got hers. Damn it. Gonna bury her all.
Overwhelmed.
Attack. You're hitting him a lot harder with upgraded gear. Yeah. Got at least that going for me.
Overwhelmed.
Oh. There's that. Attack. Attack.
Overwhelmed.
Technique. Let's see if we can get another rally. Because I feel like that's going to be a lot more useful. I'm going to put another barrier up. Dang it.
Overwhelmed.
Let's do a red instead. Force whirlwind. The other thing is, when it comes to Dunstan being a tank, again, it makes sense to have him use tank abilities, because the one that I had to give up was Face Me, which gives him a damage reduction for one, but also Dunstan gets fervor from taking hits. The more times he gets hit, the more fervor he generates. So I would want, obviously, to keep attention on him, because, again, that mitigates, but at the same time, it also helps make sure that he's able to use his abilities that he needs in order to make sure the rest of the party does more damage.
Overwhelmed.
I'd like to point out I've mitigated a lot of damage by using the barrier twice. Second wind, glacier, attack.
Overwhelmed.
Okay, we're about at the point of we're going to start hurting a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and stun him. I need to buy some time in order for
Overwhelmed.
Aliana to build up her mana. Use the barrier again. Which unfortunately I don't think will happen quick enough. Hey Inazuma, welcome back from your nap. Did you dream about me? If not, you're a cheating bastard. I'm kidding. Okay. Attack. Cornite. Damn it. Golly, all that health. Man, I'm really glad I used barrier twice earlier to mitigate all the damage that happened before this.
Come on!
Overwhelmed.
There we go. Okay. Okay, needs to get through one more turn with her, and then I can up the barrier again.
Overwhelmed.
Okay. Magic barrier all.
Flurry!
Overwhelmed.
God damn. Well, there goes all of her barrier.
Flurry!
There's all of his.
Flurry!
Overwhelmed.
Finally! Fucking hell. Saving right now. Don't have to deal with that shit ever again. Yeah, you can totally do it with your just current ability. I don't know. Fucking bullshit. Bullshit! Okay, let's see. Let's do health. Good thing I asked about that parameter so you upgraded. I know, right? Oh, it's a 5-star Dragon Ball. So that's the energy source I've been looking for. It's clearly a dungeon core. Yep. Good thing we got it to it first. Dungeon core. Never heard of that. I'm not quite sure what they are either, but it looks like they're connected to Vimera somehow. That's what's keeping the monsters inside the dungeon. Wait, what? We're not touched then, right? It's fine. Came here to collect it. One lengthy explanation later. I see. Well, don't mind if I do. This feels strange. What's more smoothly than expected? Say that again. Suppose we best return to Bastara to figure out where to go next. And have some drinks. You coming too, Varn? Of course he does. Now he's got a core too. He's part of the group. I mean, if you'd had me, I'd love to join. You handled yourself well enough. No complaints here. I feel like the pacing is very, very off. Well, look, I made it. Yeah, didn't think you had any, but here we are. Thanks for checking out the demo, I suppose. There's nothing else. Alright. Let me close the game then. Ha! 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 I have qualms. I have a lot of qualms. Consider that dungeon rummaged. Yeah, you know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I will give you that. So, in regards to the first few things that come to mind before heavily ranting. The pacing seems very off in regards to when you get the first core to when you get the second, then the third, then the fourth. It seems like it's almost running through a story versus actually taking time to like develop things out and, you know, and flesh things out. So it doesn't really provide enough time for getting to actually know any of the characters in between them getting their cores, or actually understanding their own wants and desires and so on. Like, we know why Dunstan's there. His hometown got burned down, and his best friend that got him into rummaging died. We know why Thaz is there. Her hometown burned down, and her best drinking buddy died. We know why Alania is there. The king told her to. We know why Varn's there. He wanted power. But we don't really know anything else about any of the crew, really. Like, at all. Fuck, we don't even know what color underwear they have. And at least in other games, you would know that by now. You'd like, oh yeah, that guy. He wears heart-shaped, polka dot heart, undies. How do you know that? There was a comedy scene in regards to it. That's how we know. He's got heart-shaped boxers or something. But the fact remains is, like, in most games, by the time we got the fourth core, or a fourth point like that, we would know a bit more about the characters that we are playing, or going through this adventure with. So the story feels a bit rushed for this demo, and I don't know if that is going to remain that way or not, but it's just simply how it feels. From a mechanical standpoint, the very base-bone nature of the skill tree is disappointing. It's nice that we have a skill tree, but considering that to earn skill points, it is not a grind by leveling up or anything. It is you get skill points based upon milestones. We're not really going to tell you what the milestones are, but you're going to get them. And then, yeah, sucks to suck. So you're very limited in the growth, or rather the speed of the growth that you're able to do in that regards. Sure, there's no grinding, quote-unquote, but let me check my notes here. Yeah, you do still have to grind for money to buy equipment and upgrades. Well, you don't really buy equipment, but just buy the upgrades. So you still have to grind, but it's supposed to not have to require you to grind as much. But again, I really didn't get to beat that boss until I had gotten the +7, and then again ignored what Harlequin had been saying in regards to just attack all out, and actually using strategies to mitigate as much damage as possible. So yeah, I don't know what they were going on about, but we finally killed the dragon. Thank fucking God. It only took us, what, like 6 tries? 8 tries? I don't remember. I don't want to think about it. My main issue with the game, though, is there is a major, well, aside from the story pacing, is in regards to the combat and the mechanics in it, but mostly the balancing of. There are too many fights against just random enemies that feel like they might be taking a little too long, purely because of you're running into them and it's like, oh cool, I have to fight and I can't run away. And then there's the boss encounters where it feels like it's taking too long because they just have a huge pool of health and that's it. They might have a gimmick or two to them, but really the main obstacle to overcome is just the huge pool of health. The whole idea of a damage sponge as a difficulty check is fucking annoying. Because what do you mean? I'm just not doing enough damage. I'm hitting it with everything I've got, and that's not good enough. Cool, great, whatever. It happens in many RPGs. Good ones, bad ones, and so on. But with at least those, you get some sort of feeling of like you are getting closer or getting better with each and every retry. Versus the Snoblin King, the ice ogre thingy. It just felt like I was hitting something with a lot of fucking hit points, and that's about it. The Kraken, giant squid thing with its tentacles, deciding to be like, I'm gonna treat you like the hentai. That, again, the main thing with it, it's just got a lot of fucking health. The dragon, its main thing is it's got a lot of health, and it increases the damage it does every turn. By the way, start hitting it with everything you've got immediately. Don't bother with doing too much mitigation, because if you don't kill it quick enough, you're just gonna roast. I'll like to point out the main way that I stopped it from doing so much damage to me was to stun it, which I could only do once every 5 turns for 2 turns, and I didn't want to do that too much because I was also using Fervor, which again, Dunstan only gets Fervor when he's hit, or if I use Second Wind, which costs a turn, to essentially either debuff them or buff my allies to where I can actually do the damage that I need. So overall, it's not balanced. The combat in general is not very well balanced. It does need tweaks here and there in regards to just minor things, but also some major things in regards to you're wanting to make a skill-based QTE combat system. Cool, that's fine. But you need to increase the margin for error. If the margin of error is too thin, then you are going to essentially alienate a large portion of your potential player base. Where's my water? Fortiseptus, this is your fault. Patter, it's also your fault. Yeah, it's your fault. You took a year vacation, a year and a half vacation, so it's your fault. Ugh. So what do you have to say in your defense? Yes, I thought this game would have been done by now. I thought so too. I'd like to point out though, on the idea of balancing and such, when it comes to balancing your game, for the longest time, it has been, and even now is, a trial and error process. The game is played, the game is, adjusted, tweaked, and then it's played again, then it's tweaked more, until finally either you run out of time and you publish, or you get it right and you publish. Or you get sick and tired of it and throw it in the garbage, piss in the garbage, and then maybe look back at it 2 years later. So, there's, because of this whole trial and error thing, there's no real scientific method for balancing. Purely because, again, the margin of error. The idea of the margin of error and what you have to account for. You have to be able to account for not just one person's skill level, but everyone's skill level. If I were to play a fighting game right now, I would do okay-ish. Okay-ish, I like to think. But if, say, Bird Bunch played a fighting game, depending on the fighting game, he'd fucking cream whoever he was going against. So, yeah. Difference in skill level because difference in players. He probably would also have like no issues with the QTE because he is more geared towards that. I'm not. So, you pretty much have two reference points of like someone who is extremely geared towards and someone who isn't. So finding a middle ground between the two of those is where you want. He just needs more playtesters in your opinion. You can't just play a game yourself to balance. That's the hard part about solo dev. Exactly. And he's had some other people play it and state that they've not had too much issue with it. Which, if that's the case, cool. But again, you've got to have people that are very good and people that are not very good to try and find that balance of in between, where you can still challenge at times or appease the people that are higher in skill, as well as still appeasing the ones that are lower in skill. At the same time, you can't appease everybody, but you can at least try and make it where it's more accommodating and a little bit more forgiving to people who are not good at it and the ones who are. I'm not saying making your game a lot easier. I'm saying be aware that making it too difficult will dissuade people from playing. And if it's difficult because it's just unfair and not balanced, then you're not going to be in for a good time. Ooh. Where is it? I was looking at it earlier. I'm trying to find it. Apologies. Because I read it in here earlier. Read it. Here we go. When it comes to balancing games, symmetry is the simplest way of balancing a game. Each player, including the computer, is given the same starting conditions and abilities. This ensures that the outcome of the game is dependent only on the relative skill level of the players. Sounds ideal, doesn't it? Unfortunately, this approach only works in the abstract games such as chess. Can you imagine simulating a real battle with infantry, knights, and archers lined up facing each other over a perfectly symmetrical field? It would feel unnatural and would quickly become boring. And even though pure symmetry is limited to the use of the abstract, there is a way that symmetry can be used to ensure balance without appearing to be contrived. Essentially, it goes on in talking about how there are two main ways of doing balance, which is symmetrical and dynamic. When it comes to games such as RPG Maker games, or just RPGs in general, really, if they are not essentially skill-based, they are purely, number crunching. Your standard RPG where you select attack, it does the attack, goes to the next skill, or the next turn, you then do the abilities, or so on. It's turn-based. That all would be a symmetrical or symmetry type of balance, because it's essentially a you go, I go, they go kind of situation. Versus when you add on to that, it becomes a dynamic, or a combination between symmetry and dynamic. So when you add in QTEs or button inputs or like extra steps that must be taken versus just selecting the option, you have created a more dynamic type of balance that is required. How big of a window? What is the visual indication? What is the audio or is there an audio indication? So on and so forth. Are they synced properly? Is there a window of error? If so, what is that window? How big of it? How small is it? Etc., etc. It's very difficult, and also part of the reason why I again suggested actually looking up a number of different guides in regards to game theory and balancing. I suggested the book Andrew Rollins and Ernest Adams on game design because that's what I have. I got it from back at college. It served me pretty well, and it's got an entire chapter based upon the internal economy of games and game balancing. It's, again, very detailed, very helpful, but at the same time, learning it and implementing it are two separate things. I highly suggest everyone to essentially remember a balanced game should be internally consistent. And victory is determined by player skill, not random factors. All players have access to the same functionality, equivalent core options, so on. But also, it has to be a consistent thing. So there's no like, oh hey, what's a good example? Anyone to play Final Fantasy IX? I hated Tetramaster. I like Triple Triad because it's considered really, not only is it considered really good, but it's consistent. The rules don't really ever change. There's no real big chance of randomness unless you get the random rule. But for the most part, Triple Triad is a very solid, easy to play game because of the fact that there is no randomness when it comes to what the cards do. Tetramaster from Final Fantasy IX, on the other hand, fucking sucks because it has the most convoluted ass, essentially rules as well as mechanics, and no real fucking guide. Because the whole thing is based off of random chance. You could have a card that, in theory, should be more powerful than another card, but still lose flat out. The card game? Yes. Final Fantasy IX's card game sucks ass so much. And it's part also the reason why everyone likes Triple Triad from Final Fantasy VIII. Because, again, it's consistent, it's solid, it works. I have a minor headache, and I blame Harlequin. It's not here to defend himself. Best RPG game I could play is Gwent. I've never played Gwent. Triple Triad, yeah. Triple Triad too. That's why I have it on Auroras. Everyone has Triple Triad in their RPG Maker game. Almost every RPG Maker game that has a card game has Triple Triad. And in almost every indie game that has a card game has a game that is similar to Triple Triad. Quit that card game in Final Fantasy IX and just ignored it. That's the main thing. That's the part that pisses me off the most about Final Fantasy fucking IX and its card game. Because I was like, I have fully beaten Final Fantasy VIII. I have done every single challenge I could think of in order to do it. I even finally got all the hero cards, all of the summon cards, all of them. I completed the whole fucking thing. It's done. I never need to play Final Fantasy VIII again. I might still do it in a year or two because that's just tradition at this point. But Final Fantasy IX, one of the last fucking challenges I have in that game is to actually win and be good at the fucking Tetramaster card game in that game. The problem is, it sucks ass, and it's required as part of the fucking story. You have to go to a tournament and play. You don't have to win, you just have to go and play. And it still sucks ass. Because Triple Triad is so fun and simple to make, there are other card game plugins, but they seem to just too complex. if you go too hard with it, yeah. The only play that game in Final Fantasy IX was the only time it was required to me. Yeah, I just lost the one game, then moved on. Yeah, see? Fucking dumbass, stupid game. Because what do you mean? It's a randomizer based upon what point that they have in which of the 4 slots. And it's random as the arrows. There's no real point in playing this game other than the tournament. You can't even do anything else with the cards. It's whoever designed this needs to be beaten with a crowbar. Ugh. But yeah. I feel like it's a very good example as to like learning to balance your shit. And the idea of, oh yeah, let's add randomness. A little bit of variation in regards to damage, in regards to like in combat is fine. But when you have something that's supposed to be static, in regards to certain rules or certain things, please make them static. If you're going to add random chance to a card game, or just to like a game in general, define random and minimize how much randomness it actually is. Because if it's true random, and you got a huge wide area, you overcomplicate shit, and you could fuck everything up and make it not fun. Final Fantasy IX card game is Timu Triple Triad. I will give them that. They tried something new. They tried something different. Unfortunately, it sucked ass. So, you know, it is what it is. Ugh. But goddamn. That is literally the last challenge I have in Final Fantasy IX, is to collect all the cards and be good at the card game in it, and I can't do it because it just sucks so much. Oh, hello, my love. Yeah, I'm still bitching. Do you make your other sandwiches? Just one other? Oh. So we need to go to the grocery store Wednesday. Okay. Oh. Oh. No, you're good, love. Oh. But yeah. Now I need to figure out a new game. I still need to figure out a game for tomorrow. Shit. Hold on. Where's the thing? Okay, so this one's done. I haven't done an indie roulette on Sunday. I'm sorry, on Saturdays in a while because things have been changed up so much. You got a game for me, but I might need to buy. Then it's on hold then. I'm still currently in a buy freeze when it comes to any and all games. I'm not buying anything until essentially things clear up. Oh, sorry. Only moderators can post links, so you are not able to post a link. So, what's the name of the game? And add. I think this is fun. Most free RPG Maker games are not finished, unfortunately. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. I do have one. Yeah. So let's see. Is it on this list? Ah, yeah, there it is. So we've got Varma Ventro and Untold Story. I did a little bit of Untold Story, and originally I thought it was just a... I thought it was a different game. So I'm going to have to restart that one to actually get into it. God, I have a backlog of games. Harold's Island Adventure is finished and free, but you will be lucky to get more than one night out of it. Yeah, I think Untold Story. So tomorrow will be Untold Story. And starting from there. What about next week, Monday? What is it, my love? You broke it?
My controller is doing the volume even when I'm not with
You gotta click back into the
the
game. Did you
Still doing volume.
did you click desktop and then back to the game?
No.
No, you're good. I played Meowsy First Adventure. Oh. Metatron's Revenge. I think that's also free. Yes, I believe I saw posting about that in the Discord, actually. Let me see. Yeah. Sandalphone posts about it, and he does like these dev things, but my main issue is that I don't think there's any real sound to them, or it just sounds like someone's fan is like losing its mind in the background. You're also picking at random from the list. You know what, that's fine. Devin Meowsy First Adventure playtest or says a punch. Ah. I'll tell you what, since we're still trying to get somewhat of a regular schedule back, let's change Mondays to oops.
Harry Potter night. You can play Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Why would I play Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban?
Because it's fun. I can't play my game now, so.
What is it doing?
The same thing I just told you. It's okay. You got like 20 minutes. I'll just put in my 2 cents.
Okay, so Mrs. Part-Time suggests that I do retro nights on Mondays again, starting with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So the question then remains, are we talking about the PS2 one or the Game Boy Advance one? The Game Boy Advance one. Okay. But if I bring back Retro Night, how long would you say it would take to beat Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban? 2 days?
It's not hard at all.
Ah.
Maybe 3.
Maybe.
If you wanted to do like the mini games and like play as other characters.
Well, you gotta remember, most of the time I only stream for about 2 hours, so...
Yeah.
How short of a
I
game
know.
is it?
It's not a short game. It's just, it's not. Well, it took me 2 days to play it. So I think it would take you 2 days to play it.
Yeah.
Because remember, I'm playing it the third time through now.
Oh, oh god. Which Harry Potter? The Prisoner of Azkaban for the Game Boy Advance. It's one of her favorites. Hi, Toby. I know, Mama's in here with us. And she's talking with me, which makes you super jealous.
No, he just wants attention. He's letting you know that he had a bite of bologna sandwich.
You had a bite of bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
Does that mean Toby does not need treats?
Toby always needs treats.
I don't know, they haven't bought him any treats.
Well, he is a chunky monkey, so.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess Retro Night
You don't have to. Just be
or Indie Roulette Night for Mondays moving forward. I'll decide later on. But I feel like Indie Roulette might also need to come back in general, so that way we could just kind of like do small little tastes of games again, like we used to back when I first started streaming. Toby. Before it? No. You didn't ruin everything. I moved away from doing indie roulette like early on. Because it's hard. Because sometimes I'll get a game that's actually really good and I want to keep playing it. Or I'll get a game that's crap. And I'm like, dear God, let me pull my own teeth. But yeah, so indie roulette for Mondays, Untold Story for Tuesdays. Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass is still pulsating along. I don't know how much longer I've gotten that game.
I feel like you're gonna finish it this week.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because that's the one you play on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one where you've been playing late because it's been interesting and you've been liking it. So I think you're gonna.
It has been really interesting.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. I think you're gonna finish it this week because you're gonna be like in the zone and going through it, and it's gonna be close to 11 o'clock before you're done.
Oh.
But that's what I think's gonna happen.
Well, there's Mrs. Part-Time's call. I think on the indie roulette, though, we will start with... Yeah, I'm going to pull... That's a good idea, actually. Let's roll some dice. Oh, boop, 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 boop. Also, I got a... Now that I remember it, actually, I got a game key from somebody for Mini Quest, I think it was. Yeah, Mini Quest. Okay. So, next time we do indie roulette, it's going to be pulling from one of these. So that works. That works, that works, that works. Cool beans. Well, that makes things a lot easier. Oh, fuck. Alright, class. Now that we've ranted about game balancing. Oh god, it's a Valen. Hi Valen, how goes it? God dang. What's this? You forgot it was Monday? How do you forget it was Monday? Oh wait, you're not working anymore. Is that how? You're neat now. Oh. Oh, how unfortunate. Must be a problem. Oh. Well, something else I was complaining about Dungeon Rummage was the idea of the characters not feeling fully fleshed out. I'll just point out, when it comes to character growth, a good way of putting it is that when you're starting out the game, they either have limited to no awareness of what's going on, or of themselves, or even of others. But as the first act of your game goes on, they should progress towards kind of like becoming more aware of like themselves as well as those that are close to them, and even if they are reluctant to change or even lean on the fact that they're reluctant to change, there should be a growth and kind of like a bonding together of the characters that starts out rough in Act 1 and then becomes a little bit more solid in Act 2. Because regardless of how long your game is, Act 1 is always like the opening. Act 2 is the meat and potatoes of the game, and then Act 3 is the dessert that finishes everything off. So, a lot of people often put things like, a big change and the consequences of said big change in Act 2, which is perfectly fine. And then they often put like a rededication to a big change to help signify that we're going into Act 3. Act 1, what the fuck is going on? Act 2, now we know what we're... now we know, let's deal with it. Act 3, what the fuck did we do? I mean, yeah, kind of. You also got to remember that when it comes to dealing with multiple characters, it's best to make sure that they don't all sound the same and that they all have a different personality and feel to them. Because a good way of putting it is that you'll have generally one character that's like a mentor type. They're kind of like, kind of like a mentor, really, because what they are is they provide a lot of information about the world to the player through exposition to the main character. They serve as a guide or as just someone who seems solid that they can rely on for any kind of like guidance. Like, oh, here's a secret bit of wisdom for you. And I feel like a lot of people don't fully use the mentor well. Purely because mentors are not... how to put it? The regular trope is like the wise old man or the wise old woman or something like that. A good example would be like Obi-Wan from Star Wars, for those of you who knows that. Reminds me of something I read in History of Beetle Bailey. They went over characters they cut, and one said they said it was just them doubling up some same jokes, so they cut them. Yeah. But you also got to remember that when it comes to like having multiple characters, you could have two joke characters and a straight character. And I mean straight as in like the straight man. Because a lot of times, for especially like older comedies, you'd have the funny guy and then the straight jacket guy. Straight jacket guy is like normally the butt of a joke. He doesn't really, react that much. He's always serious. He's very straight-laced. But then the funny guy is the one who's always making the jokes at the straight-laced guy's expense and often causing mischief. But if you watch Dumb and Dumber and don't spoon your eyes out, you can find that there's two funny guys. Oh, hey Harlequin, you finally woke up. It's Monday. We finished your game. I have a lot of problems. I kind of gave myself a bit of a headache, too. But I blame you. But yeah. You need to, as I was mentioning, when it comes to your characters and when you're writing them and making them essentially a party, or not even just a party, just like the cast and crew of the story itself, who interacts with who and so on. Remember, there's like different archetypes narratively, and to utilize them as best as possible. You're most of the time going to have someone who's got a bit of a hero complex. The hero is normally whoever the player is playing as. But there's also, their allies around them who helps pull the story along, who helps guide them down one path or another. I know you have a whole lot of problems. Well, yeah. Not me. Well, last game I was going to make a character a big flirt, but it started to just get annoying instead of funny. So instead, he now is obsessed with food instead. How to put it? I had a character for a while that was a big flirt. The whole joke about them was that they were a 5'5" skirt chaser. That was the joke. They were an anti-stick in the mud character that I used to aggravate other people because they were sticks in the mud. But this 5'5", anti-stick in the mud, skirt chasing womanizer, who was an alcoholic, a gambling addict, and a pathological liar, was never too annoying, purely because, one, always changed it up, and two, there was the fact of, like, he would do things that would seem practical to him. It's like, oh, we need to get, like, down a couple of floors, but, the stairwell is blocked off. Hey, there's a vent over there. It looks like it goes down a couple of floors. I'm gonna check some nades down there. What? Why? Because who we're trying to kill is a couple of floors down, right beneath us. So, led him to funny scenes of him like chasing a crab off screen for crab legs. Yeah, the same. The character would do that because, again, it's funny. The idea of I'm thinking of the me in the now and not the me in the future. So, it just slides up to some random person like, hey, baby, how you doing? Yeah, why don't I show you what these hands can do? Stuff like that. But, he gets rejected or he doesn't. Either way, the plot moves forward because it's always like, ooh, hey, yeah, actually, I'll come back to you on this. And also, when it comes to, like, developing your character, and characters, really, you always have to ask first and foremost, are the game's characters primarily art-based or story-based? In regards to, like, are they supposed to be based upon a particular look and feel and vibe based upon, like, are they cartoony? Or are they story-based in the sense of, hey, we're going to be touching on some rather serious topics? Oh, hello, Storm. What is it? Thank you for your wise words of wisdom. He has passed on the words of... Now, one project I have one lady who, best way to describe it, her, is she acts like Luna from Harry Potter. Luna Lovegood? Also, I want to point out this is also in this old book here. Where'd it go? There it goes. With a story-based character, how will you convey the character's personality and attitudes to the player? Through narration, dialogue, gameplay, backstory, or other means? How does the character's grammar, vocabulary, tone of voice, and speech patterns contribute to the player's understanding of them? Basically quirky, everyone else thinks she's weird, and she doesn't care. Oh, and is fond of rubber ducks. I mean, so is everyone who drives a Jeep. I've always been tempted to glue them on the outside of someone's Jeep. Just to be a dick. But yeah. Harlequin, go balance your game. Your bosses have way too much health. Increase your margin for error when it comes to your skill checks. And the pacing feels very off. In the sense that it feels like you're rushing through what should be the developing opening friendships and such. To, hey, can we please stop running at a breakneck speed? Oh, but yeah. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything else in the tank at the moment. I am tired. And plus, Well, I'm allowed to be tired. So Midwest Game Guy is currently not streaming. How dare he? Oh hey, Tron is up. Let's go aggravate Tron. So, ladies, gentlemen, you wonderful Technicolor rainbow of individuals, both inside and out, as always, I greatly appreciate every single one of you. It's not even 9 yet. It is almost 10 Eastern. And I still greatly appreciate every single one of you. The game ended early, blame Harlequin, and yeah, that's all I got for you on that, Valen. Simple as that. But don't worry, I will... He's Midwest. I'm not Midwest. Harlequin's not Midwest. All we know is Ashton fucked up, and we need to go remind Tron of that. So, I'll catch you guys next time. Appreciate every single one of you. Bye for now.